So in this box beside me, I have hundreds of dollars of makeup that I have to now throw in the bin because I haven't been using it. These makeup products are products that I purchased on a whim that I was super excited to use, and I never got around to using them. Either I went through a phase of not using makeup at all, or I was just lazy and I bought them purely for aesthetical reasons, or I was too scared to use them because I didn't want to run out of them because they were limited edition or whatever. And these are products, unfortunately, that I have barely used and I have to throw out. There are a couple of products kind of sprinkled in here that definitely aren't off, but I just don't feel like they're performing their best, and so they are also going, such as an eyeshadow palette. But in terms of the lipsticks, they all smell. Has been a very confronting experience. I went through all of my makeup products last night, well, most of them that I could find, because I just have shit literally everywhere. I have makeup all over my house. It's impossible for me to keep a track of everything, and that's another reason why I wanted to declutter. But rather than finding products I didn't want anymore, I noticed that there were way too many products that were far off, and I needed to get them out of my collection. There is absolutely no point in keeping these products because I cannot use them. This definitely isn't the extent of all of my makeup that's gone off. I definitely have done declutters before, lots of them, too many, and thrown out lots of products that were off in the past. This was just the first time that I really realized how bad it was and how much I needed to change it. I'm going to be going through these products here and talking about what is wrong with them, how much is left in them, how much money I wasted. I'm going to probably, hopefully, have a little tally up here. Hold on, I'm just going to turn the ISO up a little bit. I'm hopefully going to have a little tally somewhere around here telling you how much money I am throwing away. Just hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. So here we go. One of the first products is my Lorac Unzipped, I think. Lorac Unzipped. This was not the gold version, this was the version before that. And none of the products have hit pan. In fact, this was the palette that I used for my wedding. I don't know if you can see, but here it's starting to get like a little bit bumpy. They're starting to definitely not perform their best. They're going quite dry. To be honest, I don't even really feel that much of a connection to it, because at the time I thought this will be the perfect palette for my makeup, even though I knew that I wasn't really a huge fan of the palette then. Like, that was only in May, and I've had this palette for years, and so even back in May I knew it wasn't performing well, but I just kind of always thought that I'd use a Lorac Unzipped for my wedding. I thought that it was perfect pinky tones, this was going to be it. I think it's time for it to go, and I need to make a little bit of space. And like, I've kept my wedding dress, so I still have, you know, that memento. I've kept my husband. I'm still I talked about you. Don't look at me. I know you can hear me.
I can't.
Why are you smiling? And so I don't think that I really need to hold on to this. It's just making me annoyed, to be honest. The next product that I'm going to be throwing away is the Stila Transcendence Putty Highlighter. This one has no more juice in it. It is giving me nothing. It's completely dried up. It actually was pretty dried up, and I revived it with some oil, and I'm not willing to do that again, because although it worked absolutely fine, I don't really think that that's a good way to preserve products in the long term. I think for short-term immediate use, it's fine. For the long term, not so great. Look how hideous these are. These are two Makeup Forever Step 1 primers. I really loved both of them. I would say the smoothing primer is probably about a third, maybe a little bit more, maybe about half of the way empty. And the hydrating primer is definitely like 2/3 gone, if not more. And these primers, I really liked both of them. Definitely the hydrating primer I used a little bit more of, because the smoothing primer I would concentrate just in the areas that my pores were. But these have really reached the end of their life. I think I've had them for too long. They're starting to look really grubby, and they both smell bad. The next one here is a Kylie Metallic Liquid Lipstick. This one is an Air. I bought this one in the very first release, so that was years ago. And this one is just smelling gross. You know, I didn't really like it anyway when I bought it. I definitely thought it was going to be more mattifying, it was going to dry down and it was going to stay, but I found it to be very moussey soft on the lips, but it wasn't what I was looking for, and I just never really reached for it, and unfortunately now I have to throw away, it would be well over 3/4 of the product. I probably used it like all of 3 times. That's just a really stupid waste of money. You should definitely look more into products before purchasing them. I will keep that in mind. The next is 2 Bobbi Brown lipsticks. One of them is in nude and one of them is in tea rose. They are both off and they are both nearly full. And this is so stupid because I was obsessed with them. I was so certain. These in New Zealand cost like, I don't know, around $50, maybe $40 something. And I was obsessed with them. I wanted to make sure that I absolutely had some Bobbi Brown nudes and I never used them. And these just ended up being what, like $100 that I'm just throwing in the bin. You know, I'm just too impulsive. I wasn't paying attention to what I was buying. It resembled too much already in my collection. The next 2 are 2 lipsticks from Lunatic Cosmetic Labs. Come in these little bullets. Let's see how much is in these puppies. Oh, look. One of them has a little bit taken off of it. The other one's barely touched. Both of them smell terrible. And they have completely dried up. They're completely unusable. They smell off for sure. And oh, that makes me angry. I begged my husband to let me place an order for Lunatic Cosmetic Labs. And even their contour palette, don't like it. I think it's a great formula and I think for anyone else it would be fine. I just really like to look quite warm and I have a very particular contour shade that I like, and I just found that it didn't work for me personally, but I don't hate it in general. Like, there was nothing innately wrong with it, it just wasn't for me. These 2 I was obsessed with, and again, like, just so stupid. This is literally just money down the drain. I'm just throwing these dollars away because I was too stupid to just let them go earlier or use them up and purchase more consciously. So I have 2 oils here. Both of these are completely off. They are probably about, I don't know, 1/6, both of them, 1/6 of the way finished. And they both smell terrible. They're definitely past their use by date. Why did I need 2 of them when I could have literally used double of one of them instead? I didn't find that there was a marked difference in either of them. I don't know why I needed to have both. And I just don't really like very simple oils like this, and I didn't know that at the time. I typically prefer more complex oils that have a lot of essential oils, lots of different oils that are going to, I know I'm saying oils a lot, oils. Like the Sunday Riley Flora oil is probably my favorite. It has like different types of rose oil. It has essential oils in it, and I just find that it's really nice, and I definitely prefer that. So I don't know why I keep buying these very simple thin oils, because I don't really like them. Next are some Tom Ford lipsticks. They're real dirty, not because they've been used, but because they've literally been sitting in my drawer and have now gone off. This one was well loved, but then my daughter stuck her finger in it, and I don't know why, I just never touched it again. Do you want to see this? I literally still have the Tom Ford logo on the top of this lipstick. I used the back of it once. I don't even like oranges. I definitely don't like reds. And for some reason, but even side by side, look, I actually didn't use that much of the pink one either. That orange one is pristine, and I never used it. That was $50 US for nothing. Literally, they both smell terrible, and I've been knowing that they were going to go off. I put a post up on Facebook maybe like 1.5 years ago or something, being like, I need to use these Tom Ford lipsticks. Guess what I did? Never used them again. Never did, because I just didn't want to run out of them. I didn't want to waste them, and now look, I have to literally throw them out because I have wasted them. I don't even really like lipsticks. I have like a couple that I like, and for some reason I keep buying bullet lipsticks when I know that I'm a huge matte lipstick wearer. I don't know why I keep buying all these bullet lipsticks. I never wear them because they slip slide all over the place. I stuff my face like a pig. It gets fucking everywhere. I don't like it. I just stop buying them. These are two mascaras. I used the It Superhero Mascara probably, I don't know, 10 times maximum. This was only ever used in my tutorials because it made my lashes really chunky. I didn't like it. This Man Eater, you know, I just don't like the brush. I know that's not a good enough reason not to use something. It definitely is like the mindset of just having money to waste, just not really caring that what I purchased was actually going to be good for my circumstance, and just purchasing because I could purchase. And it has led me into this deep dark hole of not enjoying the things that I have and having stuff that I don't enjoy. So next I have these two Anastasia waterproof cream colours. I thought that these were going to change my life. I was going to be so popular because everyone would see these awesome colours on me. Oh look, barely ever used. And now they're both completely dead. Mama can't get nothing out of those. To be honest, the reason I didn't use these is not because I was scared that they were going to run out, but because I didn't really like the formulation. I found the pink one was okay. The yellow one in particular was kind of patchy, and then if you tried to layer it would just flake off. Next are some lip glosses. So I have this one from, you know, Hailey Baldwin or something, but you can see that that's completely gone off. I never used this one. And to be honest, I didn't actually buy it. I got it from a beauty box. But I'm still going to count that because that's silly. I just had it in my drawer and I never ever used it. The next one is my Chantecaille gloss. I would say that I've used probably... I have used probably that much of it. This gloss was well loved until I started really getting into matte liquid lipsticks. This one is in the colour Charm and it is beautiful. It's just off. This Clarins little lip gloss, I really liked this as well. If I could wage a guess, I would say it's probably about half full. So again, I did get some use out of it. It just isn't as much as I would like now looking back at it. A NARS Audacious lipstick in Anita. I'm pretty sure I've only ever used just the tip of it, and that is dead. This Makeup Monsters liquid lipstick. Yep, it says that it expires after 12 months, and it gives me the date here, which means that it would have expired on the 31st of March 2017. I have probably used this all of twice. And it is a beautiful colour. I don't know why I buy these colours if I know I'm not going to wear them, but I get super excited and I get caught up in the hype and I think that it's going to change my life. The next one is another really annoying one because I love this colour, but it's completely off and I only got to use it maybe twice. It's Squash from Lime Crime and it is like the orange of my dreams. I'm just so stupid. The next one is the Sleek Matte Me. This one is one that one of my best friends bought for me, and to be honest, again, it's another one that's unfortunately gone off. I did get a good couple of uses out of it, but definitely not as much as I wanted to. To go along with my Chantecaille lip gloss, this one was my favourite Chantecaille lipstick. This is how much is left. I would say that it's like I use this an average amount. I would say that this was definitely one of my most used bullet lipsticks, and my daughter stuck her finger in it and I never wanted to use it again. I know, it's so stupid. It just kind of felt like it was tainted, or not tainted, but like it wasn't applying on my lips the same because it didn't have that smooth application, and I just didn't want to use it anymore, and so therefore I left it to go completely off, even though it was probably one of my favourite colours and combinations with the lip gloss. And because I wasn't wearing the lipstick, then in turn I didn't use the lip gloss that I bought with it because they were perfect in my head. They were perfect together. They couldn't be apart. They're soulmates. And that's just so stupid because now I have two products that I have more than half left and both of them are off. The next is a Bobbi Brown foundation. This one's actually pretty well loved. I only have that much left of it. It just smells bad, and I actually really liked this foundation. Back when I had a blog, back in the day, if you remember, I talked about how much I really liked this foundation. I thought this foundation was lit, and now I definitely find that I could repurchase this. I did like it, but I don't work anywhere that sells Bobbi, and so I just don't really use this every day, and therefore it's getting forgotten about and it wouldn't be worth me purchasing. But I did really like this, and I have gotten good use out of it. I just wish that I had had the endurance to use it all the way down. Like, how satisfying would that have been to be like, oh yeah, I used the whole thing. I liked that product so much I completely used it, instead of like, oh yeah, I liked it, but then I had to throw it out because it went off, because I just left it sitting there for months, and it just is really sad. The next product that I have to throw away is a limited edition MAC lipstick. This one is in the one Enchanted one. This lipstick is in the colour Enchanted one, and I was obsessed with this lipstick and with this packaging. I thought, excuse me, oh, what is going on here? This packaging is everything. It has the little 3D water drops on it, and I thought that this was going to change my life. And while I did really love the colour, obviously I did not use enough of it. I used, like, is this a joke? Like, that's probably less than a quarter missing. I have a primer that I ran out of. This one's nearly completely full. This is the NYX Angel Veil. I do find that this primer in particular goes bad pretty quick. It says here 6 months on the back, yeah, and I would say that after 6 months this one's in the trash. I used to have one in my kit, and I found that it was going off too quickly, and I was having to repurchase it too quickly, and that's annoying for your kit. You shouldn't have to keep repurchasing primers, and I just didn't find that I really enjoyed it all that much. And to be honest, I'm a luxury gal, you know. I spend a lot of money on my makeup, and I make sure that I thought I made sure that I really enjoyed my products, but I just find that I don't get the same excitement out of using drugstore products. I don't like the packaging. I don't find myself reaching for it, and this isn't to spit in the face of anyone who can't afford luxury whatsoever. This is just personal preference, y'all. Like, I find that I would much rather save up my money and buy one product that's great instead of 6 fucking drugstore lipsticks that I feel average about. And that is also taking into the consideration the fact that I have at least 10 lipsticks here that I felt average about. So the next, I don't know, couple of products that I have here, I have a lot of samples, but I don't think that that really counts into my like throwing stuff away pile. One thing that I did want to mention was my Giorgio Armani foundation. This one is pretty well gone. Boy, I probably have like this much left of it. How good would it have felt for me to just finish it? Like, I probably had 1.5 centimeters left of foundation, and I loved this foundation. I just didn't want to use it all because I was scared that it was going to be gone, and it was my favorite foundation. I bought it when I was in the States, and I couldn't repurchase. Another couple of products that I've had to throw away is this horribly dirty Colourpop eyeliner. This one is in like a lilac colour, which I thought I was going to use all the time. I probably used, oh, I don't know, once. Look at it. Look how much is left. That's so ridiculous. And, oh, yep. And now it's just literally snapping off into pieces. The next product is my Lippy Pencil in Frida. This one was my favourite. Again, falling to pieces. Can't use it. I loved it, and I was scared that I wouldn't be able to repurchase it because it was limited edition. Didn't use it all. I did probably use about half the pencil though, so I'm not too mad about that one. But I also have a pencil very similar situation where I was scared that I wasn't going to be able to get it again. This one I used a lot less of than Frida. Oh, I have that fucking cream colour base under my finger. The yellow one from the Anastasia thing. This one is the Kathleen Lights one, and I used probably, I don't know, a quarter of the pencil. Only like a few products left. This is a House of Lashes lash glue. I have, you can see that hole right there. I probably used about half of it. It's completely unusable now. I have 2 eyeliners. I have this one here from Tarte. I did probably use about 3/4 of this one. A MAC gel liner. This one is in Black Track, and I tried to revive it and it didn't work. It went kind of watery and gross. So I would say definitely you can revive something once, but I would not say that it's long term. You can probably revive a cream product with some oil for, I don't know, a month, 6 weeks. That's not an official statement. That's just what I would do. So hopefully this video has given you a little bit of a wake-up call. It definitely has for me. It was really sad going through all of my products and seeing how many of them I had just let go to waste for no reason, and how I could then make that better and like really rotate my products. So I am starting, I guess, a kind of like project pan. I have a video hopefully up by now, or it will be up after this one, where I talk more in depth about the products that are going to be in my first project pan. It might not be something that you're interested in, but it might be. I think I have a little bit of an unconventional way of looking at the project pan, and it would be really interesting to explore that, I guess, and to get more comfortable with the idea of having or using products up, because that's definitely not something that I've been comfortable with in the past. I typically like to preserve them for as long as possible, and I feel sad using them up, but I think that it's going to be good for me in the long term, is to push and have that tenacity to just keep on going, just use the products up. And like, what a show of love to a product when you use it up completely. That's so nice, because now I feel like if I was looking at all of these products as if they were, I don't know, people, I don't know, I know that sounds weird, but if I was, I would be deeply upset that none of them really got to live their full life, I guess. And I guess kind of changing the way that I look at my circumstances and my life and my products that I buy. I'm going to really have to be a little bit sterner on myself, make sure that I am using up the products that I purchase before I purchase some more, so that they're not just sitting there collecting dust. And this way I can actually make sure that I have a really certain idea of how I feel about each product, which is going to be important as well. So this is kind of the way my channel's going from here on out. I do think that I'm going to be getting a little bit more into this shop my stash anti-consumerism mindset of using the products that you have and repurchasing the products that you love, and not just purchasing anything because any old person tells you to. And I think that that's going to be an important step for my growth as well. This is the end of the video, and I will see you on my next one. Bye!